Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 124 on remote, out in Wilton, California, at T1. We're going to call it Studio T1, Chris.
Well, we call it T2 because this is take two.
Oh, it is take two at T1.
At T1.
How you doing?
I'm
okay
good.
now?
I'm good.
Well, we had a little hiccup, but we're good.
We're good. We're
Technical
professionals.
difficulties, but we have backup.
We always have backup.
Because you should always have a plan B to your plan A, right?
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
And we have two special guests here in the remote studio today.
That's right.
Where are we, Chris?
We're out in the middle of the country.
The country. We're looking at goats.
Goats and horses and hay bales, and yeah, it's all great.
Donkeys.
So
they didn't even come to us, though. They didn't want any part of us.
Well, you didn't bring Lorenzo. They're kin,
I didn't.
It's just they're
Maybe
probably
they were upset
pissed.
at that.
I kept yelling Lorenzo, and they kept giving me the middle hoof.
That's right. That's right. Well deserved. Well deserved.
I don't know what to do about that.
So,
but we're out here in, well, can we say where we're at? Is that
I already did.
Wilton, California. Yeah. We're at
made a road trip.
Tac1Fab. So we're here with Carlos, the proprietor and owner of Tac1Fab. And we've also got, we'll get to the whole show here in a bit, but we also have Kevin Ultra4Jones is in the house.
There he is.
And we have a reason for being here, but before we get into all that, we have some business to conduct.
And we have a studio audience of one.
That's right. The Latte Rodney's here, too.
Yeah, he's there to
he's
keep
not
us
mic'd up.
caffeinated with the lattes.
No mic for him.
He's micless right now. He has a camera in his hand. So,
needle and thread.
Yes. So we are here, and this is
day 39.
Day 39, and my good friend, my really good friend that really supports me in every way, brings not one, not two, but 6 frickin' bottles of slow distillers, Rod and Hammers.
Yeah.
Whiskey here. Well, there's one vodka. I asked him how it was. He hasn't even tried it yet.
2 shots of vodka.
Yeah.
No,
you can talk, Kevin. You know, we've already introduced you, so don't be afraid to defend yourself or anything. But
I'm just trying to get you off that wagon.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
He's
good.
He's seatbelted in.
I'm drinking my LaCroix.
I believe it's pronounced LaCroix.
LaCroix? No, not LaCroix. I don't want anything.
French.
It does sound French.
Is that like French crotch?
Wow. Okay. There it is. That's why we have the explicit label, ladies and gentlemen. No, so you got some nice bourbon, and there's some rye there and a vodka. So I'm just gonna have to live vicariously through you boys and tell me which one's good.
Yeah.
And, I'm gonna try and hold steady here till the end of the year. We'll see.
Wish
me luck, players.
The shakes.
No, I haven't had any shakes or withdrawals. No, I'm
Chocolate
good.
Shake, vanilla shake.
It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
All right.
Trail Heroes.
I'm proud of you, man. I think the 39 days is it's awesome. I am not on the wagon, but I'm also the driver, so I'm taking it very easy.
Well, and you had a nice bottle of wine last night.
I did.
You shared with me that you told me about.
2 glasses of wine of.
You were at Livermore. I was at San Jose.
Right. Eagle Ridge Raptor. It was super good.
The Raptor. Was it a Ford Raptor?
No, it's just a Raptor wine. I guess
okay.
It might be named after a Ford Raptor, but I think the owner of that place is a Dodge guy. I don't know. Oh, silence, crickets.
Oh.
If I had the other board, which went sideways, I'd hit the cricket button. But
I did see a Dodge logo on the side of the board, so that explains why it just crapped out right in the middle of the podcast.
So yeah, this is take 2, like we said. Take 1 is I'm not sure what happened there, but things were going along swimmingly, and until they weren't.
So, like, what did you say, Kevin? Just like racing?
Just like racing.
Yeah.
It's like a race recap. It was going great until it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Everything was going
great.
great.
Pop in my headphones, and then I heard nothing. It's like, uh-oh.
You guys are prepared, though. You're like Navy SEALs, you know?
Yeah, we are.
2 is 1, 1 is none.
That's right.
Backup
That's right.
plan, always a backup.
2 is 1, 1 is none. That's exactly right. That's what we live by here.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
we have to get a little bit of business out of the way here,
Yes, sir.
and then we'll dive into this interview, which I can't wait to hear all this and looking at this beautiful chassis in front of us here.
Woohoo!
So we have a couple new patrons.
Right.
Yeah.
One's right here.
And one's right here in front of us. Carlos, thank you so much for hopping on board and having faith. Your card already went through, so you can't retract.
That's
so
right.
You're
That's
in,
right.
regardless of how this podcast goes.
And we actually have all your cards now, too, just so you know.
Lorenzo does.
The whole Apple Wallet.
Yeah, the Apple Wallet.
That's right. So, that new axle I just ordered, well, thank you so much.
So we'll send you some stickers. We got swag for you here for opening up your shop to us today. And yeah,
Cool place.
looking forward to
Absolutely.
this. There's a lot of cool
Glad to
tools.
have you. Thank you for coming out.
Oh, no,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
This is awesome, man. This is a cool toy box you got here.
Yeah. Presses and freaking
You don't even know what half this shit is, do you?
Plasma cutters and welders and welding tables and
Just think of all the wheeling you could do, Chris, if you
Yeah.
had this many tools.
Yeah.
Just need time.
Just need time.
I
Just
gotta
need
figure
time.
out how to have time. Anyway, so thank you, Carlos, for joining our Patreon followers. It's awesome. Thank
Absolutely.
you. And then we do have another patron who's a little further away. And he's not just across the room. He's
on the other side of the world.
He's on the So Ash in Australia.
From Australia.
Thank you,
Another
Ash.
Aussie.
Another
we
Aussie.
have we have a great Aussie contingent.
I'm
man.
telling
This is
you.
awesome. I can't wait to go back there and
Who'd have
and
thought?
visit.
Who'd have thought we'd have
Go
listeners
wheeling.
all over the world?
I don't know.
I mean, we
Sweden?
we were lucky. Yes, Sweden, Russia.
The Swedish chef.
Dear,
Borsky, borsky, borsky.
dear, bork, bork, dear.
Wow. There you go. What was the other one I saw? There was
I think we had-
Russia, you said?
Right, but I thought
This
I
isn't
saw
Russia,
I
Danny,
think,
is it?
Brazil and Argentina.
Brazil.
Not Argentina, Chile.
Chile.
We have listeners there. So
like
South
Chile and
America is
Seabass.
starting to follow along, which is
Really?
awesome.
Yeah, no, this is crazy.
So yeah,
I think they listen to Ultra4Jones, really.
probably, and yeah, I think you're right. So
Yeah.
We're going worldwide.
That's what's kept us going here, kept us afloat.
when you hear about Kevin racing in the Far East series, what Japan races and or is that all Supercrawl? Well, you gotta start getting.
No,
into
they did a couple exhibition stuff. They
Yeah.
got an Ultra4 Europe, Ultra4 Australia, but
well, you got to go do that
New
now
Zealand.
too.
I think you got to be super cool. You got to. It's like invite only stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I'm not there.
Well, you're getting there, though.
You're getting there.
We're getting there.
You have 200
problem
more
is-
followers than us on Instagram.
Problem is, you put your car in a container ship right now, it'll be stuck off the coast of some country
That's
for
right.
6 months. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No,
Come
we're
back
gonna
all
avoid that.
rusty.
So Ash, thank you so much. When this episode drops, the stickers that we sent you they won't be there yet. So
They're on their way.
they're
It's
on
in
their
the
way.
mail.
It's
in the mail.
It's in the mail. Checks in the mail. Stickers
Snail
are in the
mail.
mail. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for your support, Ash in Australia.
Awesome. And another item of business. Finally got a hold of Nick Collins from Instagram there.
Yeah.
1R Haas Fairleigh, the Factor 55 that you
Factor
graciously
55.
donated.
That's right.
So that's going out to you, Nick. So thank you. Congratulations.
What's that going to be mounted on?
Apparently a Toyota.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's going to get used then. I mean, that's, gonna
Well,
get
that's
used if
true.
It's on a Toyota.
When he runs out of torques, he'll need the winch.
That's right. That's right. Between all the torques and transfer cases and winch, he's good to go. So
That's right. So that's in the mail too.
yeah. So congratulations. That's awesome. And then Eddie, our buddy Eddie. Speaking of Toyotas,
Oh boy.
what
Sushi roll.
he gave us this box that weighs nothing, and there's specific
Probably nothing
instructions.
in it.
And he, we called him on the way up here. Said, hey, we're going to do this during the podcast. With Kevin Jones and Carlos here, and he goes, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned. So
Surprised
I'm supposed
he's
to
not here
open this
himself.
and then hand you the contents, and you're supposed to go read it or something. I don't know.
Well,
There's instructions
am I supposed to
inside.
leave the room?
I don't know. So let's see here.
Let's see if I can walk out
What
of there without knocking
is
shit over.
what did he tell you, Kevin?
Yeah, he was so worried about it. He sent me instructions
Yeah.
as well.
So I'm a little concerned. I don't like packages that are super lightweight.
Did you check to see if it was ticking?
No, it wasn't ticking. I did check that. Okay, here we go.
Was it humming? Vibrating?
Nope. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Okay, Jason, it's up for you to pull this off. Am I supposed to read this, Ed? I guess so.
Doo-doo.
Okay, reach into the box, pull out the bag, hand the bag and instruction sheet to Chris, and ask him to leave the room to open the bag. That way no one sees the contents.
What the hell?
Oh, jeez.
I'm putting
Excellent
my
job of
microphone
packaging.
down.
Yes.
It
Awesome.
says to be open. We need a picture
Yes.
of this.
I already
We get a
like where
picture
this
of
is
handing
headed.
this to Chris. It's a Victoria's Secret bag. Pink. Have you ever seen one of these bags before, Chris? There you go.
For
Perfect.
cinnamon, right?
So there's cinnamon. That's right, cinnamon. You remember cinnamon?
To be opened by
All right.
Be opened by Chris only. So you're supposed to
opened by me only.
leave the room and open it, and then it says, Chris, you have to be a sport and pull this off. Go into the other room, open the bag. When you're done laughing, go ahead and put it on.
No.
Come back and join the podcast and show off your new attire.
Maybe do us all a favor, though, and put it on over your
Yeah,
clothes.
be sure it's nothing, no body parts are hanging out or anything. I don't know what this is. I know Ed's sense of humor, and this could go south in a hurry here. He's oh boy, Rodney's going over there filming, so I don't know. So that's all he told you was just be sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see. Well, I'll fill in the blanks here, I guess. So we're sitting here in the shop.
I think I got dibs on the old-fashioned.
Yeah? Is that one calling your
There
name?
you go. Yep. Pre-mixed, old-fashioned. So that's Rod and Hammers. You got sponsored by them, what, about at the beginning of this KOH?
They came on right
Beginning of
before
this
KOH 2021.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool. And Rod is one of the guys' names.
Right.
And what's the other guy's name?
Hamish.
Hamish?
Hamish.
Okay, so that's where they get the Rod and Hammers.
Yep.
We're supposed to do a podcast with them. They want to do a podcast. So I've been in contact with Rod. So we'll see if we can get something going here this winter.
Let's do it.
All right.
That'll get you off the wagon.
Yeah, that'll get me off the wagon for sure. So yeah, that's a pre-mixed old fashioned there. So you just
Making
pour it
it-
over
making
ice
it
and
easy.
you're good to go.
Making it easy for dummies like
Oh,
me.
Here he
All
comes.
right, here we go. It says. There it is. Well, it is not lingerie. I am happy to say I have seen this before. So how do we describe this? Chris, we'll let Chris get suited back up here.
Well, it's a T-shirt.
Okay, it is a T-shirt. It's a white T-shirt.
It's a big T-shirt because I'm
Yeah.
a big man.
Yes, it is a big T-shirt. It actually fits you well.
Well, my Wheeling Wine and Whiskey shirt's underneath it too. So
There you go.
doubled up.
So you want to describe it? Because
Well,
it's got a very offensive diagram on the front of it.
Well, it's a Ram
A
logo
what? A Dodge Ram logo, yes.
mounting a Ford.
A Ford logo.
A Ford
I
logo.
would say the Dodge logo is very tastefully placed behind the Ford logo.
Yeah.
Tastefully.
Tastefully. It is tastefully.
So, I mean, I am outnumbered in this room from Ram to Ford guys. Are you a Ford guy?
Nope.
Dodge.
He's got a
Oh.
Dodge out there. You didn't see the Dodge?
That's pretty typical, Jason. They're not very attentive.
That's right.
Still
That's
three,
right.
I
That's
had
right.
3-2. I mean, I don't know. Three
Yeah,
Ford guys
Rodney's got Ford.
The logos even have kind of a personification where they've really embodied some human characteristics.
They did, didn't they? And
Yeah.
like where the Ram hand is grabbing the F on the Ford.
Yeah, it's very sensual.
The Ford arms look a little feminine, though. I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know.
I like it.
You like it?
Maybe.
You gonna wear that out in public?
Maybe.
Yeah,
At camping events.
camping events. That's good. Well, with the white, that should go great camping.
Oh, yeah.
Won't get dirty at all.
No, not at all. Perfect. Well, I like it. It's funny, Eddie.
Eddie. Well, there you go. Thanks, Ed, for
There'll be pictures up on the gram.
the Victoria's Secret bag. There was nothing else in there.
He's so sneaky.
No.
Just the who made the shirt.
Oh,
So
okay.
We can do a shout out to them. Who's that? That's Victoria's Secrets.
I've seen that before. Oh, right here.
Anything on a shirt ready today. www.photo-t-shirts.com.
Ooh,
Johnny T Company.
there you go.
There you go.
I could hear Eddie's laugh right now.
You can even get a Dodge
Eddie's
humping a
laugh.
Ford shirt.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure they have it the other way around too.
I'm sure they do.
Okay, you gonna wear that the rest of the podcast?
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
I think you should.
It's a little
Okay.
hot, though. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's
Anyway,
perfect.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you, Eddie.
Well, there you go.
Got any other business?
No, I don't. After that, I think we're good. Oh, Eddie.
All right, like we were saying, we're in the remote studio T1. We've got, like I said, Carlos, the proprietor of Tac1Fab, and of course Ultra4Jones, and we are here to talk about
This
Tac1
beautiful new
Fab.
chassis sitting out here in the driveway. So let's get into it, boys and girls. So, Mr. Jones.
Yes.
So how did this all come about? You got into Ultra4 racing. You got in at a
Entry level.
yeah, entry. I wasn't going to say entry level, but entry level, and you raced and you finished your very first race, right? Which was
Ridgecrest.
Ridgecrest,
Yep.
That's right.
and did well. And then your second Ultra4 race was King of the Hammers.
Yeah, there's some mild technicalities in there with Reno, but
Oh, yeah. So you attempted that's where we got to interview you the first time I met you.
That's right.
That's right.
Was Reno Nationals, which was at the Wild West Motorsport Park, which was freaking awesome, and
Rest
that's no
in
more.
peace.
Boo, woo, woo. See if we had our board working, we could play that sound.
Yep.
Yeah. So you had a little damage there to the third member in the qualifying, I believe, if I remember correctly. Something went south.
it was practice.
It was
So
practice,
I like
yeah.
to say that wasn't a race because I never took any sort of green flag. but
Right.
In reality, I paid a bunch of money in entry fees. So
Yeah.
I was there.
You entered.
I
You
broke.
entered the race. And then King of the Hammers, first King of the Hammers, that was 2019.
2020.
Oh, 2020. Yeah, we are 2021. Gosh, man, this is crazy.
Come on, man.
So 2020, you competed in your first King of the Hammers and finished.
That's right.
And finished
19th in class.
19th in class,
26 overall.
Okay, so there you go.
I think.
And then so
Awesome.
fast forward to King of the Hammers 2021. You did better.
We did better. Got a 11th in class and 14th overall, I believe.
So there you go. So and you were hooked after your first Ultra4 race, I guess. Easy to say. And then you raced two King of the Hammers, finished two King of the Hammers, which people just try to finish that just start out in this sport. And then you're like, okay, in order for me to be more competitive, I need to change my game up a bit. So you said, I need to do a new chassis.
Yeah, my goal from the beginning was to, not just compete in races, but actually do really well and, try and round up some trophies and really kind of prove that I could do this,
Right.
To myself. And I knew from the beginning that the car I got was at some point going to hold me back, but I knew I could cut my teeth on it. So I feel like I've done that now. I've pushed that car as hard as I feel like I can push it, and I feel like it's kind of holding me back. So
There you go. Moving on up like the Jeffersons here. So how did you find out about Tac1Fab and Carlos?
Whenever I get into anything, and Ultra4 specifically now, I just dive into as much info and research and everything as I can, trying to immerse myself in it. And early on, that meant finding every single Instagram page associated with rock crawling and racing, and that led me to Tac1Fab's page. And Carlos at the time had a chassis he'd tacked together and he was trying to sell, and
Okay.
it kind of caught my eye. It had some really, really good, sexy lines, and kind of started the conversation just through a little sliding into his DMs,
There you go. You're definitely blanket the old Graham there. Every time I go, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then it's all liked by Ultra4Jones. Liked by Ultra4Jones. I'm like, damn. You're on there 24/7, it seems like.
He doesn't sleep.
Oh, is that what it is?
No.
Ain't got no time for that.
Ain't
Yeah,
no
just
time
sleeps
for that.
for wussies. man.
Yeah,
you're
sleep
dead.
when you're dead. Sleep when you're dead.
So Carlos, so this guy, just random guy, slides into your DMs as he puts it, and
he's probably my second follower on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. And
beside my mom.
and what and what was the message you get? It's like, hey, cool chassis. Do you do any sponsorships?
Yeah, do you sponsor people? Like,
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
No, not right now, but
No.
I'd really rather like the cash.
We prefer cash here. At
Sometimes you got to be
Tac1Fab.
aggressive, you know?
Yeah,
You got to
hey,
get their
you
attention.
never know, because they may say,
Straight
yeah,
to the
hell
point.
yeah.
Straight to the point.
I've been looking for a sponsor.
Straight to the point.
And Carlos, I've been looking for some cash. So there you go. So anyway, so you guys started chatting and then said, hey, let's build a chassis together.
Well, we kind of went back and forth on Instagram for a while, and this last year, I guess it's 2021, we were at King of the Hammers. I was down there with some buddies and crawling and messing around, watching the event, and we pulled up on Jackhammer, and I told him that we would be there. We'd been messaging back and forth on Instagram anyway, and I told him I'd like to meet him, and we pulled up on Jackhammer to the camping area there, and there's Ultra4Jones. He walked right up on me and said, hey, are you Tac1? Do you know the guy that owns Tac1? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So then we got to visiting and went back to his pit the next day and met his dad and his whole crew there, and the rest is history, I guess.
Well,
Yeah, it was, his car is his trail car is so recognizable that I saw it at the bottom of Jackhammer. We were out doing some pre-running, so took a break, jumped out of the car. Trail was pretty plugged up anyway, and but yeah, I saw it, I don't know, 100 yards away and went over there to
talk about your personal rig, Carlos, because that thing is badass, and I have seen it out on the Rubicon. I was checking it out earlier.
It's all Toyota drivetrain. I bought a 98, a wrecked 98 4Runner, and harvested the engine and transmission and I guess rear axle out of it, and I've got Toyota transfer case doublers in it, and
all the torques.
That's right.
It's got a rough stuff fabricated front housing in it, and it's all tube chassis. It's the actual design of the chassis is the basis of the other a couple of chassis I built, including Kevin's, and I mean, it works. It just flat out works.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's ready to party. It's full hydro. What do you got for engine under the?
It's
hood?
got a V6. It's 3.4 Toyota. Yep.
Nice.
So hear that, Tyler? Same engine you have.
Yeah.
That's a 5VZ for all those, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got a bench seat in the back, so it's like 4-seater, 2.5-seater.
It's a tight 4-seater.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5. I wanted
Comfortable
something that
3-seater.
my little girl could ride in with me. Of course, I never use it, so. But it's full hydro. It's got everything in it. It's ready to go. Red labels, stickies, BFG stickies in it, and it eats up rear ring and pinions. So
Does it?
we're gonna be switching up to a Dana 60 here pretty soon.
I see that sitting right behind me here. Well, yeah, that thing's beefy.
This is a front end.
That's a front. Very good, Chris. What how'd you get that? And
Steer-
it could be rear steer.
Well, it could. Well, but it's an offset, so it's a steering knuckles on it. So or has C's, so it's steering axle, but it's not a rear steer.
My rear axle's offset.
That's
in the
true.
buggy.
Yours is all
Doesn't have to be center
back-asswards, though.
section to be. Yeah, it is bass backwards. That's for sure. Anyway, so no, it's a really cool rig, and yeah. So as you were saying, recognizable Kevin, and he's coming up, Jack there at KOH.
Yeah, I mean the chances of people try to arrange
Oh yeah,
meeting each other at Hammers, and good luck, So it was really cool to just stumble upon each other like that.
especially out on the trail.
Yeah.
Right. It's only like 70 trails.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, next thing I knew, Carlos was hanging around the pit a little bit, and I could tell he was trying to kind of leave me alone and let me do my my race week stuff, and anxiety's pretty high that week and stress. So, but it was cool to meet him and get the relationship started, and fast forward to coming home from Hammers, probably.
Yeah. So what happened?
Yeah, I just gave him a call and I said, "Hey, I think you need a new chassis." He said, "Yeah, I think so." I said, "Well, how about if we do something here?" And so we made a deal, and he's got a chassis now. He needs to get to work.
That's right. You got So you're.
We got to end the podcast. I got to go home.
Yeah,
and build a
gotta go.
race car.
Gotta go. Thanks for playing. Yeah. So let's talk about this chassis because it is beefy. It's sexy. You got wheels sitting at where the axles would be, just mocked up, the Bluetooth axles right now, and it's got a unique look to it. So what are some of the specs on this bad boy here? And you got it on scales too. So where are we at? We're just shy of 500 pounds right now.
Yeah, I came in today. Depending on how the wind blew, 462.
462. Okay. So that's good, and that's just the chassis right now, bare bones chassis.
Yeah, 462 as a base chassis. There's quite a bit of bracing in there that a lot of other chassis you might buy don't have yet, but he's got to add quite a bit more to it. So
some gussets. You guys are gonna work on that tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we left some time tomorrow before I got to head home to do a little bit of conversation about probably the next couple phases that I'll be doing at home, and if we have time to knock out, any gussets or any use of Carlos's plasma table while I'm still here, we'll do that too.
Plasma.
That's a cool table. Make some cool stuff, cool bracketry. So okay, so you want to talk about width and length and
wheelbase.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't think anything's a secret, right?
No, go ahead.
Everybody knows. I mean, all you got to do is get onto my Instagram, realize I'm a pretty open book.
Yeah.
So, my current car is 48 inches wide.
Okay.
And that means the shoulder of one seat touches the window net, and then the two shoulders touch each other, and then the other seat touches the window net. So it's really tight. So, preliminary conversation with Carlos was that I wanted a car that was wider, but not too wide to run some of the narrow places out at Hammers.
Sure.
48 inches wide.
48.
So if you think about that, that's the width of a piece of plywood, 4x8 plywood.
Right.
I mean,
not too wide.
Not too wide.
And you're in that thing for how long?
Too long.
Depends.
Too long.
With the co-driver.
Yeah.
So we decided on 54 inches wide.
Okay.
Would be a good number for me. So that would essentially 6 inches wider, 3 inches per person kind of thing as a thought. The chassis this is the one that still trips me out, and I can't wait to have it at home next to the old car. It's shorter. It's considerably shorter front to back than my current chassis.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's entirely because if you take a look at my car, the current 32-gallon fuel cell was an afterthought. It was when they made a trail car a race car. So they had nowhere to put it, so they just literally hung it off the back of the car. So it sticks out past the rear tires quite a bit.
Yeah, because you have a lot of room between your rear seats and your fuel cell, huh?
Yeah, that's where we kind of made a makeshift tool compartment and stuff.
Right.
But big void right there in the current car. So
wasn't the old chassis, though, wasn't it built more for rock crawling kind of competition?
Yes.
Kind of what was the earlier sanctioning bodies for that?
Oh, gosh. I don't know that it actually competed in any of that. I think it literally was just kind of East Coast trail car, and then King of the Hammers started becoming a thing, so they adapted it for that. But the new one's bumper to tail is 147, and then I think we measured the height from belly to roof is 53 inches or so, give or take.
Oh, wow.
Now, are there rules or limitations in the rules for how big a car can be for Ultra4? So we're talking about a chassis is being built for the 4800 class.
Correct.
Everyman Challenge Legends class in the Ultra4 racing arena. Are there rules that define what the maximum width or minimum width of a chassis is, or minimum length? Or is there anything like that?
No, there's no dimensional requirements. There's only, as you cross weight thresholds, you have to change your material that it's constructed out of. So as long as we cross the scales at 4,400 or less, we can use 1 3/4 tubing.
Okay, cool. So that's why you got it on the scales right now, to kind of determine where you're at and what you can add to it and to still be within your class.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I spent a bunch of money on scales, so
Yeah,
I'm going to use
try
them.
'em out.
I'm going to use them every chance I get now. But I heard something really, simple yet profound a while back. When you're talking about total cumulative weight, next thing you know, something's really heavy, and it's because of all the individual pieces, right? So the saying goes, ounces make pounds.
Right.
So my goal is to weigh every single thing that I put on or in this car from here on out. And if I can make it lighter, simpler, or serve two purposes, maybe one bracket can mount two objects, then that's my goal, because I want to conserve weight and I want to make sure I come in well under 4,400.
Okay.
So the collaboration at the beginning before any tube was cut and bent, obviously your fabrication skills, Carlos, and then your racing background. So I'm sure there was some difference of opinion on some stuff and like, I didn't even think about that type of stuff. So was there anything that comes to mind of when you were designing this chassis? And you designed it in was it SolidWorks or was it
Well, it's kind of like SolidWorks,
uh-huh.
but it's Bendtech.
Okay.
Bendtech is a pretty popular tube bending and design software. So, but I think initially the one thing that he brought up was bump, which would be suspension travel upward. And for him, what we wanted to make sure we achieved or were able to achieve is a 50-50 ratio on his shock. So you had, if he's running a 14-inch shock, which I think he should run a 16.
Here we go. There it is.
If he's running a 16-inch shock, he needs 8 inches down, 8 inches up.
Got it.
So the one thing with the chassis and the previous design was on the front end, we wanted to make sure we had enough bump upward. So that means the lower frame rail needs to be up high enough to where he doesn't collide with any of his axle or any of his suspension structure. So we talked about that, and we made some changes. And then the other thing was on the back, because the last two chassis were trail rigs, we only put a 22-gallon fuel cell in those. Or they were designed for 22-gallon fuel cell. This chassis is designed for the Jeep Speed fuel cell, which is 32?
32.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, 32. So we had to make sure the back end was designed to accommodate the fuel cell and, again, have enough up travel or bump. And what else did we talk about? We talked about, the door bar. The door bar was a thing for a little bit.
The infamous door bar.
He wanted the straight door bar. So that was something that I hadn't done before and made a few accommodations for it. So
That's right.
I mean, one of the reasons that I was interested in this partnership from the beginning was that Carlos was willing to work with me.
Sure.
I had some particulars that I thought would work and look better for based on what I'd learned and what I've done and what I want my next car to look like. So the fact that he was willing to take input, and it wasn't just this is the
my
chassis.
way or the highway.
Yeah, my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And that we both had things to gain out of this. So it's been a very, very good working relationship.
Nice
so far.
collaboration.
yeah, the way I look at it is it's the beginning of a relationship and something that we can grow together on. I mean, this is only my third chassis. I'm not shy about it. The design of the actual chassis is something that's been proven and built before, but this is only the third chassis I built, so I need real world feedback. Real world.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said
Great
that right.
race feedback.
So here we go. This is the best kind, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
Everything gets proven in racing before it gets put into production.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you always
Yeah.
hear in the TV commercials, Honda say, we prove it on the racetrack so we can put it in your car.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And there have been things where, I've brought up something from a racing standpoint, a feature I want, or even just an aesthetic, and Carlos has been able to provide the pros and cons to doing that from the fabricator standpoint. So it's been really good that we have these completely different perspectives, but we both, can admit that we have a lot to learn. So I hope that, we're going to prove that we put two different points of view, two different backgrounds together, and two heads are better than one, and we make something really solid here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let me put this in there because I wouldn't have done this for just about anybody because there's a lot of work that goes into building the chassis, especially by hand. I don't have any automated machines or anything that does it. I wish I did. I think the next one I'm going to look into getting some automation done on at least the straight parts for the coping and everything. But when I met Kevin in person, just the very fact that he came up to me and was willing to meet me, I think I'm a pretty good judge of character, and that's why we are here right now.
Yeah.
Because after being in the pits with him and seeing his dad working with him, I think that's why we're here right now. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's going to be a good partnership going forward to grow together.
Sure. Awesome.
So yeah, definite win-win, and it gives you an opportunity to get your chassis out there. It gives Kevin an opportunity to get your skills to build this chassis to make this happen. And I mean, it is a cool looking chassis, man.
And when Kevin podiums, boom.
There you go.
Yeah, I gotta think back to when Carlos called me after Hammers and he's like, "What's your plan?" I was like, "I don't know. I was gonna buy some tubing and like try to make a chassis."
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
Not a good idea.
And I was like, "No, I don't want to do it, but this is kind of on my budget, So it's been really awesome that people like Carlos have taken note of what I'm trying to do, and they've seen something in me. I can't.
Yeah,
really
that's
tell
what
you
I'm trying to
is,
say.
but-
I guess it's pretty hard for me to express what I'm trying to say, but I see something in him, and he's a good. He's got character.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
And he's a family guy, and he's a hard worker, and he's like the rest of us. We're out there trying to do something, and we earn what we have,
Right.
and he's no different. So that's why we're here. Right now.
I don't think he sleeps. I think he's a fucking Terminator. Honestly.
Yeah, he's kind of a spaz. I don't think he sleeps either. It's either caffeine or no sleep, or I don't know what the deal is.
It's a controlled chaos, though. He's
I used to call it my tweaker time, where I'd just be in the garage all night. But
But see,
that's
he's
not
like a duck.
That's not classy enough.
He's
for racing,
he's
though.
like a duck, though. Where he's just very calm on the pond, on the
Right.
surface, right? Just making his way across the lake, but underneath it's just going. The legs are paddling away 100 miles an hour.
very true.
But he can shift gears at an instantaneous moment. I mean, like for when we were down at his place last December, when I was down there watching and you guys were working.
Right. I'm glad you clarified that.
His daughters came out, and what were they? It was something to do with a rubber band thing or some sort of
Some project
craft
or something.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
craft.
probably her like bracelet making.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Yeah, that's what it was,
And
bracelet.
you dropped everything and you sat there and you helped your daughter for like 10 minutes to make this. And I was like, holy mackerel, look at this. This is a guy going from hardcore fabricator, fireman, working on my race car to I'm a dad now for a couple minutes, and that defines it all right there.
If you can't multitask and find a balance, then it's all going to fall apart.
Exactly.
So how much pressure are you under now to get this thing done for KOH? And how many months do we have? We're let's go. October, November, December, January.
Is the garage clock working?
I'm going to have to put some new batteries in it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow that sucker down, man.
On
you have to put a couple of transfer cases, some Toyota transfer cases, and put it in low
compound. That crawl ratio, slowing that clock down.
I don't think it works like that.
Oh, it doesn't.
Calendar says we got 4 months.
Yeah.
But if I can't
And then
if I can't drive it early January, I'm in a whole world of hurt.
So, I mean, I'd like to say your hard part's done. I mean, it is. You got a nice chassis right now.
My hard part's done.
Your part's done, Carlos, for sure.
Yeah, Carlos has been drinking beer since I got here.
Hell
yeah.
He's celebrating.
Carlos he's already cashed the check and everything, so he's just like, okay, yeah, I'll cut you some tabs, and there you go. We'll throw them in the trailer with
Drive
the chassis.
safe.
Yeah,
Have a good time.
Don't-
See you at Hammers.
Bye. Yeah, we'll see you there. See you in
Exactly.
January.
So you've got, I mean, there's a fair amount of work to obviously be done. You got to disassemble your other car.
Well, that's the easy part.
You have no idea.
So my question is, and I think this
It's
is
a lot.
Yeah. So what about like the axle geometry? Now, is that part of that program? Did it already kind of line up the links and everything for you? I got to take it. Imagine or
Yeah, we didn't
think-
get into wheelbase when you asked.
Yeah,
about that, but-
I encourage him to go as long as he can in wheelbase, and he can go 114, 115 plus.
Okay.
He's at 110
Right now?
right now.
106.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah, so that's a desert donkey right there.
Desert donkey.
So
Just gotta
so
stay
he
on
needs
freight
to
cycle.
go. He needs to go.
Laurent-
This thing, I think,
Lorenzo
114 right now, and then the axles he's got are pretty narrow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a wider axle under it if you can swing it, but
Working on that.
it,
Yeah,
it
we
will work
got
with
some-
what he's got.
Yeah, we're working on we got some feelers out for some axles right now.
And you got 14
hopefully that comes through.
inch shocks right now, but I think 16s would be the money maker.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, Carlos is referencing some of our back and forths, so this kumbaya, symbiotic relationship, like we have differences of opinions, and I think that's
Well,
good
it's healthy.
because we talk them through and we talk about why we each feel a certain way about something, so whether it's the straight door bar that I wanted or, the long wheelbase that he wants, we're having the conversations and trying to find that sweet spot,
Sure.
on all of them. But in my head, I had always kind of pictured like a 112 wheelbase. So we're in the same ballpark. I think a lot of the components, once I start laying them out, might probably dictate that it's not a choice. It is what it is,
Right.
A lot of people tell me, 4-link calculator, anti-squat this, anti-dive that. And then you go to mount links. Well, you
can't put
can
'em
only
where
mount
you-
them where you can
yeah.
mount them.
So that's what I was getting at is like, I mean, am I wrong in assuming that those kind of already been like, well, this link's going to go somewhere within this 2-inch area or
Yeah,
whatever, right? I
exactly.
mean,
Yep.
Exactly.
so it is. That's all
Yep.
okay. Yeah. So all that's been, I mean, so it's not like you're going to go home and go, oh shit, I got to figure out the geometry per se, which yes, there's some fine tuning, no doubt about it, but that tab's going to go within a couple inches of.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was hoping that I could, have some upper link mount tabs on the chassis side that maybe have a couple positions,
Yeah.
but I don't know that that's realistic at all.
Okay.
So, that's probably just pipe dream stuff. We do know the car is going to be a trailing arm in the rear,
Okay.
which is something I don't have currently.
Desert.
yeah,
That's for the desert, right? I
Right.
mean, that's
Yeah.
I think leading arm would be really cool in the front. You're definitely not going to be able to, if you do a 16-inch shock, I would think you're going to need to make that lower shock mount below center of the front axle
Yeah.
tube.
So we have some things that we definitely agree on. Like one of our pet peeves is we don't like shocks that stick through the hood.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
upper shock mount.
yeah.
That's a pet peeve
That's
for
like
sure.
a big one aesthetically.
Yeah.
So whatever I can get for maximum travel up front
Okay.
without a shock sticking through the hood, that's what I'll do.
Okay. All
so
right.
whether that's 14 or 16 is, in my opinion, to be determined.
And
but,
what shocks do you currently have?
I've just got some old,
They're not Kings or anything.
no,
They
some
were-
old.
Fox.
What does Phil call them? Like
Aren't they? They're not Fox.
Sly Dog or whatever he calls that brand.
What?
Yeah, they're Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You Phil Accardi shock.
Yeah,
Jesus,
exactly.
Referred to. Yeah. So, so what do you know what you're going to go with? You going to go King? You going to go Fox? You gonna go...
I just bought some ADS shocks
Okay.
for my pickup truck,
Ooh,
so I'm hoping
ADS.
they've got something they can put together for the new car.
Okay.
What's
But
ADS? I never heard of that
yeah,
before.
Arizona Desert Shocks, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. But everybody's got inventory problems right now. So
Well, and that's
I
the.
mean that scares me to death.
This is the linchpin of the whole thing. Is like,
Yes.
okay, you can fab up whatever as long as you got some metal and your torches and stuff, but
The
yeah,
Rona.
you-
The Rona.
the Corona, yeah. And no, I'm going to get started on something.
Don't do it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Am I doing a rant, Chris?
No,
but
I'm
it is.
not.
I really, really feel that people are using that as an excuse now for their laziness or whatever it is. But I said it. But yeah, it's getting some of these components that you do not have right
Correct.
now in a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, how long did we wait for this Jazz fuel cell? I think it was probably 2-3 months for something that would have been on the shelf.
You order at Summit, and it's
Yeah.
going to be here in 2 days.
It's
Exactly.
probably 4 months. I
Yeah.
think.
And then your locker here, your zip locker.
Yeah,
what did you
8
say? 8 months.
months.
8 months for
the
your zip locker
locker.
for 60.
Seemed like. Yep.
How many freaking 60s are out there in the world? You know.
So yeah, that's got me considerably worried.
Yeah.
As far as making it to Hammers, because like Chris has mentioned, I don't have to sleep. I can stay up and get the work done, but you need parts, and if you can't get the parts, and this isn't. People are like, oh, the Campbells build a car in 32 days. Well, they know every single nut and bolt that's going on that car before they even
Right.
Yeah, and
cut the first piece of tubing, so they can order everything whenever they want, have it on the shelf. I'm building it like everybody else builds in their garage, one bolt at a time.
I'm sure they got some personal cell phone numbers of people at
some companies.
Very possible.
Yeah.
The other thing too is even the supply getting the parts, but a lot of these parts, the prices have gone through the roof too. I mean, the steel that went into that.
Yeah.
There you go. It's gone up 3 times since I started on that.
3 times.
3 or 4 times, yeah.
Wow.
Thank goodness Carlos was heads up enough to buy the tubing early and lock that in. But I just went and bought some remnant steel the other day. I used to pay 40 cents a pound for that, and I paid $1.50 a pound. So I'm going to be buying a lot of rim steel to finish this car up.
You got tabs you're going to cut and all the. Oh my god!
Yeah, well, that's little stuff,
but still, it adds up.
It adds up. Yeah, nickels and dimes you. So Kevin's GoFundMe, and you were starting an OnlyFans page too.
Yeah, that's correct.
So we could get that going.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans is the way to go.
Ultra4Jones XXX or something.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll get the link up there.
I was told different.
Oh, you don't want to see me?
No,
that wasn't the side boob people were talking about.
No,
it should probably be Rock Donkey.
Rock Donkey. Rock Donkey.
All kinds of insinuations there.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, you've got 4 months.
So, but you do have.
Thanks for reminding me.
But you do have. You're good at your publicity and social media, and for some reason, people like you and help you out in the craziest of times. So, I'm confident that you'll be able to drum up some stuff. It may not be a brand new. You may have 2 new shocks and 2 older shocks, but something will be there on the lake bed in the end of January.
Yeah, I've got a lot of tenacity. So,
yeah, tenacity is a great word,
and I think with that,
can you spell tenacity, Chris?
I can, but I do want to say so. So you get the car built, you're on the lake bed, but you have to go through some tech and stuff to get banded, right?
I was going to ask that question.
Correct.
Damn it.
Oh, sorry, I was.
No, that's good.
So before you can even race, you need to be approved, or the chassis needs to be approved, and that's called banding, right?
Yeah, it's a formal tech inspection with Ultra4, and when you pass, you get a metal band attached to your car. It's like a metal zip tie, essentially, with a stamp number on it.
Okay.
To let everybody know that chassis has been deemed legal.
Where is it just like worst case scenario? What's the latest that you could have that thing banded before you race it at KOH?
Oh, I think guys have done it race morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so it's not like a 5-week process or something.
No. It's if all your ducks are in a row, the full inspection probably takes 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
For them to roll through the checklist. And
all right.
it's pretty common for a first timer to get sent back with a couple corrections.
And that's it. So you don't want to do it obviously race day, because then if you got to go do something kind of major to the car, you don't want to be rushing around trying to fab something up or do whatever.
But I'm pretty meticulous. I like details, so I've got the rule book printed out.
You study the rule book. Yeah, you got that. Yeah.
I kind of know what to expect, and having been around it a little bit now, I know what to expect. So.
Okay. Cool.
That's one thing about this guy. He suffers from analysis paralysis like me.
Analysis paralysis. That's well said.
Sure.
Yes. It's the devil's in the details, right? I mean, it's all this stuff, and this is not a weekend, little fairgrounds racetrack thing. This is Ultra4. This is and like you said, you're not in this just to complete the race. You're in it to win it, and you've proven that. So now it's you're not going to have any excuses when this car's done if you don't finish.
Yeah,
or something,
I know.
right?
I've,
I mean,
I've
short
thought
of a
about that. I was always able to blame it on the
pressure.
car before. So now,
and now you got this guy, which Carlos isn't a small guy, that's going to be rooting for you. But if you don't bring that thing across the finish line,
oh boy,
I'll be there helping him.
Absolutely,
don't worry.
Yeah. And you got a good transmission guy on the team, Amco. So
that's right.
You're good there.
Yeah,
if you need a transmission built on the lake bed, we know somebody that can do that.
He's got a turbo 350. I think he can do it blindfolded now.
He totally could.
Yeah.
Totally could. What's his real name? I always call him Amco now.
Andrew.
It is Andrew. That's right. Andrew Amco. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, and the car's not going to be, right now the car, some of the parts are sexier than the car itself, but this new one, I mean, the car is going to be sexier. I'm still going to have essentially a junkyard engine, and turbo 350 and
Yeah, but it works.
old Atlas.
Wonder how
and,
much square footage of body panel space you're going to have different. What's the ratio? The
Yeah.
differential
As long as
ratio
there's
of body
space for
panel
stickers,
space.
I don't
Get
care.
some real
Yeah,
estate
so
going there.
We need to get some more sponsorships going here.
Yes, we got lots
More
of
real estate.
sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah.
My question is, am I going to fit in that car for my ride?
Oh yeah.
You just,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you can get in and out of it, though.
I know I got one in and out,
Yeah.
and as long as it's not on a cliff, well, that's my one out because I'll fall.
As long as you can get in at once, that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
Yeah, we'll shoehorn you in, and you'll probably be clawing your way out
That's
of it.
right.
Well,
right.
if I muscled my way through sticking in the car with Eric Wicks on Windshield 3.
Yeah, you got it.
I probably had a few moments of terror in my face, but
That's some good shit right there.
Yeah, yeah.
that was a blast.
I'll bet.
So, I mean, if you listen to that episode,
Mhm.
it's like we're coming up, and Eric's like, what do you want to do? I said, it's your car. You do what you want to do.
There you
He's
go.
like, you game? I said, dude, it's your car. Let's go. He's like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it just keeps your hands in.
Yeah.
That's right. I was just holding on to the harness.
Yeah.
Like,
There you go.
holy shit.
Awesome.
So I'm game. Whatever you can deliver, Kevin, I'm there.
All right.
I
Oh,
think.
boy. Here we go. I think. Here we go.
I just can't wait to see this thing skipping across the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm really excited.
So that's one of the biggest advantages, right? That's where you were crippled.
Yeah.
Is,
No more rock donkey.
yeah.
You were okay in the rocks.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, my
But
car again. It was built originally in 2000, whatever we decided 9 or something, as a rock crawler, and it does it really well. Short wheelbase, super tall belly, really narrow, great visibility. It rock crawls, really really well. 3-link suspension, front and rear, not much sway bar, articulates like crazy. But when we get to the desert, which you start in the desert, I get passed by every single car. I mean, we started this year. I made a big point to qualify, right? And we started, I think, 38th overall. And by the end of lap 1, we were in like 70th.
Wow.
Or something.
And all got passed out in the
just
desert.
got smoked in the desert.
So
But-
you're just sitting there cussing up a storm as people are blazing past.
Yeah,
you
because
because you physically you could go faster. I mean, you want to go faster, but the car just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm processing the terrain, and I can see farther. We've pre-run. I know what's up ahead, but I mean, I have this kind of golden rule. I try to keep the car off the hard bump stops, because
Sure.
that's when the
stuff
forces
starts-
that's when the forces get transferred to everything
Yes.
else.
Yeah, and you.
So if I can take it all the way through the travel of the shock and run it right up to the bump stop, that's the speed that you can run. But when you just start slamming bump stop every single whoop, I mean, you're only going to do that a matter of miles before.
So going
things start
back to
tearing
what
off.
Carlos said earlier, that 50% ratio where it's half up, half
Yeah.
down of the travel of the shock. So is that pretty standard in Ultra 4? Or, I mean, I know there's no like hard and fast rule.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the inner circles of all the knowledge, but you look at the way rock crawlers set up, and they just set up for droop.
Well, it's
right?
all down
So,
travel. That's what
they
I'm
might have a
thinking,
couple
right?
inches
'Cause
of
that's the
up,
way
and
I've
it's
built
all
mine.
droop. Because if your tires can fall into a
Yep.
hole,
You're gonna
you
have
can get traction, and you
Yep.
can climb up out of that hole.
Yep.
But when you want to start going fast and you want to go across
Whoops.
you need up travel.
Yeah.
Because the tires are getting blown up into the stroke.
Yeah,
So,
and-
and I go back to the dirt bike stuff.
Sure.
A dirt bike, when you're setting sag and setting preload and everything, with the rider on a bike, you're really only sitting through the first third of the travel. So you're saving the other 2/3 for impact. So I think a good Ultra 4 car is probably sitting somewhere 50-50.
Okay.
So we're gonna try and maximize the travel, and that's kind of where we get into that shock length debate and stuff. But I think right now I've got an honest
16.
current car probably truly like between limit straps
ADS.
and everything.
ADS 16. Come on, ADS.
16s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get with the program.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the car cycles 16 up front and 20 out back.
Okay.
That would be light years above what I've got. And then the stretched wheelbase will help a lot with kind of straddling the whoops, staying
Oh, yeah.
kind of a longer footprint across them versus being real short. My current 106 car that just, front end goes up, back end goes down, and vice versa. So,
And there'll be a learning curve. You're still going to be able to get it in the rocks, though.
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it'll just take getting used to the car and kind of learning the new wheelbase.
Well, and that's it. And you don't want to get out there a week before and just like, okay, now I got to learn this car. I got to learn what the car can and can't do or whatever. And
so let's
Instead of a
remember
week
this
before,
conversation.
2 weeks before.
yes,
Let's remember this conversation come KOH22 when I get the car done the night before, and we show up and get
A week
attacked
before.
when I'm
Yes.
out there.
Absolutely.
We'll play the section. Note that part.
Yeah, we'll
there,
play this back.
Chris. Yeah. No. No. That's good. So, but you've got the right attitude. You've got everything's in your favor to make this thing happen, and it's just how many sleepless nights are you gonna sacrifice to make it happen? Is
All
what it
of them.
really. Yeah, all of them,
All of
right? Until the kid comes that wants a rubber band bracelet built or something, and you got to do your family
That's
time.
right,
But
yeah.
you have set up your work life family balance, and you know that nights are dedicated to working on the car. Yeah, it's your time, and kids are asleep, and Mallory leaves you alone, and you're in car mode.
Yep.
Yeah.
She just gets on her Netflix and
There you go.
chills without me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Sounds like an angel to me.
yeah, she is.
She's pretty cool.
She's way too good for him, but that's all right.
A whole nother conversation.
But
We missed you up at Meadow Lake. this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It was a
you
good
were
year.
There was a fire year.
we got
so-
in before the smoke.
Jeez, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so same drive. Well, I shouldn't say same drive change. Same engine, transmission, transfer case.
Yeah, I can run through the list in my head a little bit. So same engine, transmission, transfer case, for no reason other than I can't afford anything else. Cooling system from Griffin will all be recycled. All the steering hydraulics from PSC will be recycled and put in this car.
Which is pretty much brand new.
Yeah, it's pretty much brand
Yeah.
new. I've got that system figured out finally. We're going to use the Corbeau seats, the window nets, the seat belts, the worn winch. What else? We got the brand new Jazz fuel cell.
Yeah,
But
they're
I'll
sitting right
use-
there behind you.
I'll use the current pump and
Sure.
filter setup I have. We'll use all the rugged comms. I need a new nav system. My current nav device is pretty antiquated. It's got weld spatter all over the screen and stuff.
no.
So, yeah, I got a
New
brand new
logo.
Switch Pros RCR Force 12
Yeah,
to
that was
control.
sexy.
Yeah, that thing is pretty
Notice
sweet.
you didn't send it to me.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
weird. I don't know. So
You don't wheel, so what do you need switches
Oh,
for?
come on now. Jeez.
Well,
don't need to start a
Well,
car you don't use, right?
that's right.
Man.
The workbenches don't need to
are
move, do
harsh.
they?
So what all do we need? New
Um,
sway bars.
Sway bars that
Axles,
I just straight
hopefully.
up don't have.
Housings.
If I get the axles I got my eyes on, I'm gonna need 8-lug wheels, so I'll be swapping out my 5-lug race lines for 8-lug race lines. Hopefully I'll be on the same Nexen tire next year.
Body panels.
Body panels I'll have to be spending a bunch of money in aluminum.
Custom wraps.
Yep.
Stickers.
Yep.
And what about wiring? So you're
All
obviously
kinds
going
of
to have to
wiring.
do a custom. Who's your wire guy?
I don't have one. Based on my budget, it's probably going to be me, but
His
I know
name is
some-
KJ.
yeah, I'd really like to do something a little more pro in this,
Yeah.
but I mean, I know. I just heard the other day Jason Shear spent $35,000 wiring his current car,
Wow.
so that's not really in the budget.
Has the price of copper gone up that
Yeah.
much?
Jesus.
I don't know if I'm gonna have 35 grand
pretty
into
good
the
at
whole
wiring,
car,
but- Yeah, built some cool harnesses, but there's not much. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
you're doing.
we got Baja Designs
ABS
came on
and-
board this year. so I
Yeah,
got-
so you got some nice.
Yeah, I
lights
got a big
there.
Baja Designs 50-inch light bar that'll go across the brow, and then I got two XL80s that'll go up front in kind of the grill area.
There you go.
Hopefully you don't need them.
Yeah, hopefully you
Yeah,
come in
hopefully
before
we
dark.
hopefully we don't need them.
Be interesting to see what the course is like next year.
So I
think,
kind of
David Coles-
envision what I'll be getting rid of. Again, if the new axles pan out, I'll be getting rid of a roller essentially. A car,
Okay.
a chassis rolling on links and axles, and you can have some drive shafts and an old fuel cell or something if you want.
Which would be good for somebody just like you did, get involved with
If-
racing if you want.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Or-
banded chassis, but I mean if I had the money and I had my way, honestly, I'd I'd minimize that thing down and make it a trail car.
Just make it retire it as a trail car.
But I need all the funds I can get to put
and
this
all
thing
the
together.
respect to the guy that made that.
Yeah.
chassis.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there was
No.
a lot that went into that, and for its time, it was freaking cool.
And proven, I mean,
Yeah.
It's like 14 years old now, and it's finished hammers twice, and
it raced hammers how many times?
yeah, it's several. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
raced hammers several. It's it's raced in Baja now. It's raced in Ridgecrest. It's seen a lot, and it's
been rode hard and put away wet.
Rode hard for sure.
We made a lap or two at Wild West
Yeah.
Motorsport
It'd be
Park.
good trail car for you, Chris.
Yeah,
There we go. Let's do it.
It would
Well,
collect dust just like your
no.
Barbie Jeep very well
Come
in
on,
the
man.
garage.
You could just break it, roll it, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
No excuses.
You
No
guys are
glass.
harsh. There's no remorse.
Well,
here,
look at the shirt you're wearing. I mean, come on now.
I like it.
He's wearing the right shirt. He's wearing the right shirt for sure.
We got JL Latte in the audience here.
Chuckling
He's a
away
Ford
over
guy,
there.
There should be a Barbie Jeep on the back with flat tires or something.
No.
Cobwebs.
Hey,
coming
the
out of
Barbie
it.
Jeep was at Meadow Lake again, and
It was, and it went up
played.
windshield 5.
it tried. I needed to air down more, apparently.
Kind of. What do you give it over there, Rodney? Say, the JL did, yes. And you didn't even spill your lavender soft top.
Jesus.
Gosh, with the AC going.
With the windows rolled
And a
up.
little smooth jazz
no,
in the background.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
What
it's
does
cool.
it run on that thing? There's,
I don't know.
what tires are on there? The Patagonias? Milestar Pats? Yeah.
So these Nexon tires that are out here right now, is that what came off your car, or that are
These physical ones?
Yeah, that we're looking at.
These
right
are
now.
My pile of spares.
Okay, I was going to say
my-
those are
yeah.
looking way too good.
Yeah, my car is still currently assembled.
Okay.
Although I made the joke there, Nexon's going to have a booth at the Off-Road Expo here in a week or two. And I'm sure they get a lot of guys walking up to them, saying like, well, are these going to hold up on, on my truck? I'm pretty hard on tires.
Yeah.
And I told the tire rep we should take one of my KOH finishing tires down there and
You
put
should.
it in the booth, I'm pretty sure it'll work on your truck.
What a testament that these are the same tires DOT. They have to be DOT
Yeah.
approved for your class.
Yeah, correct.
And they're the same tires that anybody can go buy off the shelf, and you race KOH with them.
Yeah,
and
they
didn't lose a tire.
Same ones on my F-250 that
Yep.
towed my car down there.
So that's a statement right there, and that helped reassure your any doubts that you had about those tires.
Yeah,
and stuff,
like I said, I haven't. Even just sponsorship contracts it's all new to me, the business side of this.
Yeah.
So when I say something like I hope I'm on Nexons next year, it's just because everything's year to year with these companies.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
I love the product, so I hope I can run it again next year.
Yeah. And then, of course, Rod and Hammers is they should be on next year. It looks like they're supporting you just fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Wonder if they can make some race fuel for you.
Yeah, it's
That
probably
vodka might be pretty close.
That cast bourbon's pretty hot. It'd probably burn. We should just pour it in. Yeah, they had the roof this last year, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping they want
And
a bit.
I'm sure Tac1Fab's going to have some big.
Yeah, you get some real
marquee
estate.
on
That's some
there.
real
Sure.
estate.
Yeah, you're going to get some real estate. The Wheelie Wine and Whiskey sticker will be on there somewhere, maybe on the bottom skid plate or something. But
Probably
we'll,
should weld the
might-
real
might
estate
have to
on
go with the
before you
small
leave.
Yeah,
one.
weld it on. That's a good idea, Carlos. What'd you say, Chris?
Might have to be a small sticker with the popularity he's getting
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
instead of the big one he had before.
You guys always have a big place in my heart.
Wow,
Oh,
look at
man.
that. I feel the
I
love.
might have a little tear. Hold on.
So we got to add this up, Chris. How many times Kevin's been on the podcast? Because I think Amber's confident that she's going to surpass him at Trail Hero. So
Well,
we'll see.
yep.
We'll see.
Okay.
You
well,
know,
You
they-
guys are partly responsible for the relationship too. I mean, kind of pushed me over the edge. a
Oh,
little
really?
bit. Yeah.
But just from the podcast,
Just
and
learning, just
Instagram, and
just
seeing.
understanding the guy's personality and
Yeah.
integrity. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, it is. It's and that's been the fun thing of this podcast is getting to, get to meet a bunch of people and sit down and chat with them. But it's cool because it's archived out there,
That's
and
right.
go back and listen to episodes. I mean, I've gone back and listened to other podcast episodes. I just went back and listened to a couple of Wyatt's episodes of that I'd listened to before, but I wanted to hear that, what that individual said or whatever before. So it's
Yeah, absolutely.
the podcast thing is pretty cool, especially when you got a lot
it's
of
very
windshield
cool.
time or garage time or whatever.
Right. And the story about how we met Kevin Jones. I mean, he was he posted something with him working on his car.
I fooled you guys so good.
Oh yeah,
listen to the podcast, and
I had it playing in the background and tagged you guys while I was in the garage, and you thought I was some big
hook,
time
line, and sinker.
You thought I was some big time Ultra4 racer.
Hey,
some
but
Ultra4 guys.
It's become a good friendship, though.
Well, and then you thought
you are legit.
We reciprocated with we rolled up with media vest and a photographer to your pit at
Carnitas,
Reno. So
yeah.
we came in with the big guns.
Yeah.
I know we had other drivers saying, "Why are you talking to him? Well, I've been driving longer than he has."
Yeah, this guy's like, did he say no? Nobody.
It's how you market yourself, boys and girls. It's how you
great.
market yourself.
It was, and from sitting in the camper at that race, going from dirt bikes to Ultra4 to here we are now with a new chassis, and Carlos, and it just the tribe keeps growing.
We started at the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Exactly right, and we're still going. There's no ceiling on this thing.
No ceiling.
Raising the roof, and it's freaking exciting, and I love the just keep reinventing and moving forward, and like don't you don't get stuck in that same trench of like, oh well, this has worked for years, we're going to stay. No, we're going to make something better, and here we are.
Well, the evolution of everything, and whether it's 4,400, 4,800, 4,600, all the classes have upped their games, and it's pretty badass. And every year you go to KOH or the Nationals, which I wish we could go to Nationals because they used to be close.
Oklahoma, Davis, Oklahoma, coming up.
Because the short course races are dramatically different than obviously the KOH style stuff. Because the short course you can see the whole track or most of it. I mean, at some point, I'd love to make the journey to Crandon. That looks like it was a blast, and we're hopefully circling back and talking to Justin and get that story. But it's awesome. Keep moving forward, like we said.
So, what else? What are we missing here? What else do we need to? Any other?
I mean, Chris's comment about short course just made me think like, what does having this car even mean? Hammers KOH is always going to be like, that's my jam. I want to race that every year. It's just iconic, and so much fun and such a challenge. But being kind of a SoCal guy, there's so much desert racing within a couple hours of me. I really want to start checking off some bucket list desert races, Vegas to Reno, Mint 400.
Sure.
Race. I mean, even the Ultra4 race in San Felipe was amazing. So I'd love to do a Baja 500, maybe figure out what the 1000's like someday. So I think you're gonna see me do less Ultra4 series races and do more bucket list stuff.
Okay.
The series and the points and that doesn't mean as much to me personally as it does to do the things that I've always dreamed about doing as a kid that coveted off-road.
Right.
Well, follow along, listeners, because there's more to come, right?
Did from coming from the dirt bike arena, did you want to ride the Baja in a dirt bike at all?
I got invited to go with some friends one time. They put an over 30 team together, but it just didn't quite happen. But the stories they came back with were incredible.
Yeah. You're over 30?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always had an appeal, but there's also been a huge danger side to racing down there, right?
That's where I was going with it,
The exposure on a bike seems really high to me.
I
think racing in a car would be, probably a better way to go.
What was the Dust to Glory of Mouse?
The guy? Mouse McCoy.
Mouse McCoy, right?
Who Ironmanned it.
Yeah, and he just started getting hallucinating and shit out there and just And I mean, that is just, I've ridden dirt bikes enough to know that I would not want to do that. That would just beat the heck out of you. And then, so I was wondering if that was something. And then, obviously you get a little, with age comes the cage. And then you're like, well, I've passed up the dirt bike arena, but now I could do it in my race car. So that's where I was going with that whole thing.
Yeah. No, I think for real.
I'll be watching from the YouTubes.
Air conditioned, beer in hand.
Oh, maybe I'll support you in the pit. No, beer in hand.
I don't know
Chris,
how the short course stuff will look. I'll have to just, once they start getting seat time and and figure out what the car's like. Decide. The thing I don't like about the short course is being the guy. It's my checkbook. It's my time.
Mm-hmm.
The short course is just so hard on the cars.
Yeah.
The damage and financial
Financial and
Yeah.
physical damage.
Arturo,
I mean,
puts-
you can
puts your
you
credit
can
card up on
drive
the dash.
smart in the desert and still be really fast, but when you start getting into the short course stuff, you have
You
to
don't have
drive with
time.
reckless
Yeah.
abandon, and
that's
that's hard for me.
yeah, I mean-
It's my money.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nobody to replace.
Like
this
Arturo
stuff.
said, driving with a credit card right on the dash.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. That's what he said. And I mean, looking at watching the Crandon race, of course, they had the daytime stuff. But man, of course, the main feature event is at night under the lights, and some of the areas don't seem to be very well lit. Now, granted, all the race cars are got their bright ass lights on there, but damn, they just send it,
right into the lake sometimes.
And
Yeah, right into the lake.
But there's shadows,
Nice.
and the shadows play tricks on your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a hole in there or what? And you might not be able to take your desired line because there might be a car there already, and well, maybe that's not the other line you practiced or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, throw a little nighttime darkness in there with reckless abandon, as you said, and shit breaks, or you get lucky.
Just like your shirt, it's broken.
Yeah, I'll probably get.
Wow.
I'll probably give all the race formats a try just to see what feels right. But I want to do some desert racing. I want to hit some
Cool.
of those big name events.
Okay, cool. No, I'm
Well, now that you're setting the car up like that, yeah.
hell yeah.
Yep, long and
yeah.
low.
So is your co-dog still in for the right seat, or
Yeah, Robert. I told him Hammers is always his seat
Okay.
until he tells me it's not.
okay, cool.
Neighbor Andy.
First right of refusal.
Yeah, exactly. Neighbor Andy did a great job at the Moab race. He's welcome to do it again if he wants, and then especially since he has to put up with all the noise I make those late nights.
Grinding.
And then my brother Jason co-drove in San Felipe, and we clicked so well.
Wow.
It went so good.
Cool.
I'd love to have him in the car some more too.
Cool. And Chris.
Well, I'm just going to get in the car
Oh.
and scream like a little girl for
Yeah.
a while.
Going across the desert.
That's
That'd be
I guess that's the
Yeah.
other thing too is you talk about like the marketing and all that. I need to be at more events. So
Yeah.
the car, this is 2 years in a row now. I'm gonna miss Trail Hero.
Oh,
I'm definitely gonna go to Trail Hero next year. The car's gonna go to SEMA. The car's gonna be at Off Road Expo. Like
Well,
it's
the
gonna
car-
make the
the
circuit.
car's running, right? I mean, I can go load it up down there. I can pick it up on my way
No,
down
I mean
south.
one that's pretty.
Oh,
this
oh.
one.
Jeez.
I was gonna say I'll go finish that car off for you at Trail Hero. Stick it into some canyon. Come back home with an empty trailer. And go, Kevin, you 518 stuck in a sideways in a
Wedged in
trench.
some cracks.
Bring
somewhere.
some tools.
No, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm Trail Hero is days away, and I am so freaking excited. And we got a good group going this year. This thing keeps growing, and next year, just like last year, people are like, "Oh, I'm going. I'm okay. Well, I'll be there next year." So now it's next year, and they are coming. So
There you
we'll
go.
see. So make it happen, Captain
Yep.
Chris. Won't be there.
Won't be there. Sorry. I got
Gosh.
the stuff I'm not going to talk about on the show
Okay.
going on. But yeah, those that know.
The people in the know.
If you know,
So-
you know.
Or we'll soon to know. But whatever, it's all good. You're not dying.
No.
It's a positive, very positive thing for you. I congratulate you, and I'm excited for what's about to unfold for your life here. How about that?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Man.
So my sobriety and your new life. I mean, this podcast is going places.
So many
too.
changes.
We're rebuilding it.
Oh boy. So we're going to rename the podcast.
No, we're not going to rename it. This is a temporary deal, but
No,
things
it's
are
all good. No, yeah, for sure. Wheeling wine and whiskey.
So what are you going to do with all these bottles in front here? Are you guys going to taste, or what's going on, Kevin?
I just brought them for you guys to take home.
Oh, there you go.
Well, thank God. I
Well,
brought the
Carlos
pickup
already took the old fashioned, so that I think that
I'll
was a
take
good
that.
call. That's ready to go.
We're going to
man.
open that up tonight.
Yeah,
Pour,
we can-
pour that right over
I
ice.
figure whatever's left here we'll get into since
All right.
since I'm sleeping in the
Snag-
RV.
Snagged a rye, no?
Yeah, I want that black label. At least one of us should grab that for. I want to taste that in the future. I am honestly, I'm not going to taste it now, but I will
after
in the
the first of the year.
Rodney was the first one here today. Maybe he should get first
Oh, there you
choice,
go.
too.
Well, wait, he just came.
Rodney doesn't actually have a job. Or
Rodney's
like a
spending the
groupie.
night, or what?
Rodney doesn't have to spend the night. He does,
his,
yeah.
His truck might need to be jump started.
We're not far from Lockford, huh?
Nope,
Lockford Meats. What time do they close?
they're closed.
Ah, damn it.
They're close. Yes. What time is it?
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say, Carlos?
I guess we can't end this without me giving a shout out to Jason Stanley. He's been my mentor. He's formerly Locked Up Fabrication. This design on this chassis is based on his design. It's a proven design,
Cool.
and he passed the knowledge on to me, and it's kind of been a mentor to me. So, big shout out to Jason Stanley.
Cool.
Right on.
Does he have an IG?
He's on there. I think he's Locked Up Jason or Jason Locked Up or
Look
something
that
like
up,
that.
Rodney. Well, you got my phone and everything over
Pretty
there.
quiet. It's more like hunting and stuff now.
Yeah,
Is
he's
it?
back in Missouri now. He's
Oh,
hunting,
good for him.
living his best life. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm living a good life, but not my best life yet.
You got to cash out before you can.
So I felt we talked about it before we went on air, and then we got a little hiccup with our board frying or something happened to that thing. I think it's the snail
We got
trail.
bad power up here.
The snail
Bad power.
trail logo on the back that took it down. But how'd you get involved with fabricating and stuff? I mean, this isn't something that you just watch a couple YouTubes and then start building a chassis. So, and you've got a lot of cool equipment here. This isn't a garage shop. This is not a Shade Tree Mechanic shop. So
No.
what's your background and how did you get involved with this?
Well, I started out, I do custom leather work and cowboy gear for a living. That's my mainstay. And then I started out like everybody else buying a welder from Home Depot. And I made some things I needed around here at the place. And we got 10 acres here, a little place. It's not a ranch. I wouldn't call it a ranch, but
Big enough.
That's a ranch compared to my place.
we got stuff we got to build and fix. And
Yeah.
Sure.
and then a close friend of mine introduced me to another close friend of mine, Anthony, who had a rock crawler, and I saw that thing, and it was a Toyota, and I said, I'm going to build one of those, and next thing you know, I got an 85 Toyota pickup and built that, and Anthony helped me with that, and then I met Jason, and Jason, he had been in the business forever, Jason Stanley, and I wanted to build a 4-seater, and I was going to build a 4Runner, and I said, no, I'm going to just go full ham and build a buggy. And
There
he
you
helped me
go.
build a buggy, and
Man.
the rest is history.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, no, this is a nice setup. I'm jealous, man.
Yeah, you could
got-
live like
Got
this.
a
couldn't
lift
you?
in here. Got the full plasma cutter next door. So it's cool. Oh, so here we go. Here's the super producer Rodney here. Look at this. Yeah, so it is Jason Lock T Up.
Yep.
So JASONLOCKTUP. So there it is, Jason Stanley, and then he's got Locked Up Fab. So LOCKTUPFAB. So
yeah, he ended up selling Locked Up Fab, the name, and quite a bit of the business to Marlin Crawler. I think that's public
Oh.
knowledge
yeah,
by
that's
now. But
Right.
cool.
yeah.
And then, of course, you're at Tac1Fab, TAC1FAB.
Yep.
That's your main
That's me.
go-to there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got to throw out Carlos's day job is worth following along.
Yeah, so he has a page there.
Yeah, it's at Buckaroo Gear, BUCKAROO Gear, GEAR, at Buckaroo Gear.
Cool.
Buckaroo Gear.
I think his artistic abilities play in very well to his fabrication.
I'm
'Cause
following.
Attention
Oh,
to detail.
Attention to detail
Yeah.
follows through everything a person does.
Established
so.
April 2000. There you go.
We
Holy smokes, you got 23.7 thousand followers.
he's a big
Blowing
deal.
you out of the
He's-
water
he's a
there,
big-
He's a
Mr.
big
Jones.
deal. Yeah, I know.
I've been doing it for a little while.
Yeah,
that's
you were talking
awesome.
about your chaps and stuff. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, look at this.
Cool. We'll have to
Shit,
check
I'm going
it
to have to
out.
have you
Yeah.
build me a belt.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
No
that.
problem.
There is some serious detail there. That is sweet. Okay, yeah, definitely check out that page. So BUCKAROOGEAR, Buckaroo Gear. And yeah, look for Carlos's handiwork there. Woo! That's cool. Right on. And then, of course, Ultra4Jones.
Always.
You can look up.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. You can look up at Ultra4Jones there.
And hopefully
on the gram.
Hopefully soon, a little YouTube action.
So, yeah, you want to talk about this YouTube thing real quick and your OnlyFans page or whatever you got going on for videos? What's going on?
Just trying to find more places to link my OnlyFans to.
Yes.
I'm just, again, the marketing side. It's my time. It's my money. I'm trying to stretch my dollars.
Yeah.
And I can't ever seem to get away from the fact that YouTube is so fruitful for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just racing, but just in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it a go. And I think I've decided on a channel name, Chasing 518.
Okay.
Cool.
There it is.
So
Chasing 518.
I'll be making. I've already started getting a bunch of footage and footy
Footy
and
and
content. I
Oh,
think
boy,
that's
he's
what
getting
the
the
kids are
lingo
saying.
now.
Man.
So I'm gonna start putting together some edits and
That's
start posting up some videos. And I think it'll be a lot of how to. I don't think it'll be so much like a build series of like episode 1, episode 2, but I think episode 1 will be like how to mount an LS engine, you know, and show off all the products that I use to do it and the techniques and the how-to of it. And then, you know, episode 2 will probably be how to build trailing arm suspension, you know, and
sure.
stuff like that. So.
Cool.
So that'll be cool. And yeah, as you're quickly learning, is the editing side of the YouTube world. Any video production is tough, and that's why early on when Chris and I
we don't do that.
No, we started the podcast, and you know, Snail Trail was like videotaping and sending out YouTube and the podcast, and I'm like, no, we're gonna do just this microphone thing.
Well, and I think people barely want to sit around and listen to us. They don't want to look at us.
No, they definitely, like I say,
Well,
we got a face for radio, so we're good
Yeah.
behind the microphone here.
And you know, it's funny too, because I mean, you know, the amount of getting into the storage side, the logistics of it. I mean, recording and storing and archiving audio is pretty easy. When you get into the video side of things, your storage requirements grow dramatically, and then the processing power to edit it. Man, you need horsepower.
You got to have all the
horsepower.
torques.
You got to have all the torques.
But I admire you for doing it, and it's going to be cool because you do a lot of Instagram story videos, right?
Yep.
So you're already in that arena
Yeah.
per se, and then it's just now having some, you know, because you've seen thousands of YouTube videos, and the ones that are straight to the point, entertaining. You know, if you're watching it to learn how to do something and it gets straight to the point and it's not like this 15 minutes that you got to fast forward through a BS, you know the recipe. You've got the recipe. So it's just doing that in the editing room, per se, of getting that finished product, right?
yeah, and I mean,
When-
it'll break away because I mean, every once in a while when you're doing an Insta story, it's like, oh, I'm back. My phone stopped recording.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
The way it cuts you off now after a minute or whatever it is drives me
Yeah.
crazy. You're
Well-
halfway through explaining something. But, I mean, what a lot of people have reached out to me and said is, I like that you do the stories. We get this instant gratification, but the technical info goes away.
Yeah.
So I think YouTube's a way to kind of...
Well, you could turn your stories into a reel, and then it
or
will live.
highlights, right?
Yeah, or
But-
highlight. You could highlight it,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'm
it is.
still learning.
It's I'm learning too, and just trying to keep things moving forward in that arena. But it's interesting the whole social media side of things. But no, that's good. Okay, so Chasing 518.
Yep.
There you go. Look for that on the YouTubes. There. You got anything to add, Rodney? You're over there awfully quiet. Nope. Thumbs up. It's good. Are our lattes ready? Chris is starting to wilt over here. No, you didn't. What did you drive? Oh, that was your truck out there. Nice shiny pickup out there.
What's the jail broken?
I know.
Check engine light again.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Perfect.
I love it.
Anything else?
We good?
We're
Did we
good.
cover everything that you want to cover?
I
think
gotta
so.
go build a race car.
I
Let's
know.
wrap this up.
You got to get to work.
We got to get to work.
Got to
All right.
stop BSing. We got to get this thing in the trailer, and Carlos wants to send you on your way.
I got to
so
get to drinking.
He can get to his next project, the drinking there. There you
Well,
go.
let's close this thing up, put a bow on it then. What do
All
you
right.
say? So, anyway, if you want to get a hold of Jason or Chris, you can email us at jasonor.chris@wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Don't forget about our website, www.wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. And definitely don't forget about the IG. We just had a whole segment on that. You can. That's our Wheeling Wine and Whiskey on the IG.
That's right. And
Don't forget about our phone number. What's that?
That is 408-800-5169.
That's right.
800. I'm sorry. It's 408-800. I'm looking at you like, what? It's that shirt that's distracting me.
Oh boy,
I'm going to turn that into a shop rag is what I'm going to do.
Getting distracted by the bourbon.
Yeah, that too. 408-800-5169. Give it a call. We are long overdue. I reached back out to Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Haven't had any phone calls from him.
I think we're going to see him at Trail Hero actually.
We might have. Well,
so we're looking forward
figure
to
how we pipe him in.
phone calls there. Australia, we enjoyed Charles calling in.
Oh,
so yeah, I know that's a long distance call, but yeah. So this episode is going to drop on the 28th.
That's
Tuesday
correct.
the 28th.
Tuesday.
And I will be off to Trail Hero, and I'm going to do my damnedest to get you uploaded, get you info
Content, so
that
I
you
can
can edit and hopefully keep some podcasts rolling while I
He'll
am
be
in
off
Trail
having
Hero.
fun, and I'll be here working.
That's right. Well, you could be there.
Yeah.
But I do have some exciting interviews lined up.
That's gonna be cool.
And I'm super stoked, nervous, and I'm going to practice hitting the record button.
You better
to
and
make
bring
sure that
batteries.
it's,
Lots of batteries.
Lots of batteries. We need lots of batteries.
Practice.
Power. Maybe we can make a clip for the DeWalt battery on there. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty
Get
badass.
a little 20 volt on that bad boy.
I think it might
We'll soup
smoke
that
it.
thing up.
Smoke it like our other board smoked. I don't
So,
know. Hopefully that's not the
boy,
case.
we'll figure that one out
Shit.
later.
Well, it's only money.
We're looking for sponsors. No.
Anything else?
Anyways, so yeah, I'll talk to you from Trail Hero.
Yep. Well, hopefully
That's
the
all I
board works
got.
and we can record remotely. That's it.
That's it.
We're out.